This episode of Remodel Revolution is brought to us by Closets by Design DFW. Check them out at dallas.closetsbydesign.com or give them a call at 972-361-0010. That's 972-361-0010. I'm here today with Bess Dickson. Bess is a global real estate guru.
That works.
Is that close enough?
That works.
Bess is my very good friend. She's an amazing lady. And Bess is always up to speed on all of this relocation. We're talking relocation from other parts of the country to our area and other areas as well. There's this sort of mass migration going on in the country right now for a lot of reasons. I think probably a lot of it has to do best with people, moving for financial reasons, or they're also really reacting to these shutdowns where they're in cities that have just said, no, you can't live anymore. You have to be a little mouse in a box. Don't come out of your box until we tell you to. And so they're saying, you know what, I'm moving out of my box and I'm going to go somewhere that don't have boxes. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Population density is suddenly a very bad word.
Yeah.
It's not-
Well, I have another business. I'm a fishing guide. So I spend a lot of time out in East Texas where I got my guide services. And the one thing that I can tell you, we've all noticed over the last year, is that there is incredible development going on in rural areas, and where people are buying acreage and they're going out and they're building houses, they're building barns. It is amazing. Now, I don't know if it's maybe they did great in the stock market and they decided to go out and get a weekend place. But I know that some of my clients here in Dallas have told me that they're looking for weekend homes or second homes, because they're not going to go take these big giant vacations that they're used to doing. They're not going to Europe and maybe not even going skiing this year. They're making plans to spend time with their family here.
The ranch and land division of Briggs, Freeman, Sotheby's International this year, the year's not even over yet, has posted its highest close rate in like forever.
Wow. That does not surprise me.
And interestingly enough, touching on what you were saying, not all clients, buyers, are from out of state. A good chunk of it is in-state.
Right.
Just for exactly what you're saying. They still want the getaway. But they don't want to. They want it, 2 hours from DFW kind of thing.
Well, and there's other reasons for that as well. People are afraid. I mean, there's a big segment of us that are going, I need a place to get away to if I need to get away.
Well, along with get away is also gathering in. And that is suddenly just exactly what you're talking about, that this has caused us all to stop and reprioritize. And the biggest priority change I've seen as it reflects to housing is generations gathering back together. So I've got many calls from people saying, hey, I got to rethink my housing situation because mom and dad have decided to go ahead and just sell their place, and they're going to be coming my way. And
a big part of that, a huge part of that, and I've been talking about, of course, for months, as I'm sure a lot of people have, is how this has forced families that were normally just always on the run to not be on the run. In other words, mom's not running around kids all over town all day long now. They're all at home. They're at home, and they're teaching, they're schooling from home, which hopefully we're about over that ridiculous thing. And so they're doing homeschooling, but they're obviously everybody's together. And all of a sudden, their family they're not this little scattered thing. They're family units. They're actually having to be families. I think this is going to be a strength building thing for the family. I think we're going to look back and go, here's some of the upsides to what happened, and that could be one of them. I'm very much believe that this has forced us to really change our lifestyle in some positive ways.
Absolutely. Right? Isn't that how it always is? There's a silver lining in every cloud.
Yeah.
We've just had a 10-month cloud or so with a few thunderstorms, a little bit of a hurricane feeling, but here we are.
Yeah. Well,
or we're in Texas, tornado.
Tornado. And so what are your, now during the break, we were talking briefly, and I don't have a chart to show it, but you were telling me that the migration from New York, which I thought, and a lot of us have always thought would come directly to Dallas. It's more cosmopolitan. I mean, Houston is as well. But it's in the past, it seems like there's been a big migration towards Dallas for whatever the reason is.
Yeah, I was just sharing with you. It's really interesting when you really dig into the stats. Yes, you've got the 5 top states as far as pouring into Texas as a whole. But if you look at the top 5 states, selecting Dallas County in particular, what's interesting is that Virginia shows up.
Interesting.
As one of our top 5.
Huh.
And I actually am blessed to have a little bit of personal insight on that, and that is of the many I am blessed with right now, relocation clients I'm working with, a couple of the couples are actually coming in from Virginia.
Coming from Virginia to Dallas.
To Dallas. And so when I was digging in and found that stuff, I was like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I'm living. I also have a couple coming in from California and a couple coming in from Florida. And all 3 of those are the top.
Are these corporate relocations?
California is a personal to be near family. And the other 3 are jobs. They are jobs. And
because Virginia is so government driven, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And also, don't forget, heavy concentration, or as a reminder, heavy concentration of higher education. So the couples that are coming in from Virginia that I've been blessed to ask to guide and help and introduce to Texas are actually just coming out of master's and PhD programs, and they've been hired here in Texas.
That just helps us so much to have that quality of people moving here. I mean, we like everybody. We love everybody. We don't care where you come from. We don't care what your so-called status is. I don't care about any of that stuff. I love my working, the people I work with in construction that are coming from other countries, primarily south of us, are like family to me. I love y'all. But I really love I really think it's really good for us, for our long-range future, to have these higher education people coming here, or higher, whatever you call them.
Boy, that's a lead-in into the international relocation too. And that is, we have, if you look at going by country, who's relocating, forget the states, the countries that are relocating to Texas. You've got India as a primary driver.
Don't we have the largest population?
It's up there. It's pretty high.
I think we have the largest population of India relocation. I think that's right. I read that recently. I could be wrong, but it seems like Dallas, or one of our surrounding cities, has a huge population. And these are people that are, a lot of times, these are people that are very culturally connected, and so they'll gravitate to community in mass. So you'll have a community that's just all of a sudden you look up and you feel like you're kind of in another country. And we have a huge Korean population.
Yes.
We have a huge, really Asian population that's massive in Dallas. Yeah. And so what's bringing people from other countries here, do you think?
It depends. I mean, obviously, job opportunity. It's not too much different than people that have been born and grown up in the United States. You know, they're coming to Texas because of the opportunity, the job opportunity, family connections. Maybe the extra wrinkle with out of country is going back to, we are relatively inexpensive to invest in, and there's that EB-5. Green card law that keeps getting renewed. And that's a whole nother probably a whole nother podcast chat about that. But essentially, if you invest enough money as a group and prove that you are employing United States citizens in the process, then you almost get a blank check on how many relatives that you can bring into the country with you.
Yeah.
And so that's a nice little perk.
And that's fine because they're all coming for good reasons. And
Absolutely.
So we like that. And the other thing about Texas, of course, is it's a great place to start a business.
It is. It's very small business friendly, which is fantastic because that dovetails with an interesting stat that I recently read, and that is right now across the United States as a whole, the surge in small business applications, EIN numbers has just skyrocketed since COVID came. It's like triple what it was this time last year.
Well, it's the same thing that drives it every time. And it's people being kind of thrust out into the workforce for things that they couldn't control. And they go, I have 3 businesses now. And one of the things that I've learned over time, I've been doing this a couple of years, is that you have to have diversity in the kind of economy that we have. Because unless you're working as a salaried person, which good for you, keep it, don't lose it. But if you're a self-employed type person, like I've been self-employed literally my entire life, I've never worked for anybody for more they couldn't stand me for long. And I learned as a business owner that I needed to diversify and have multiple streams of income, even though it may not be a lot of income, but it might be enough to make the rent payment or make the car payment or whatever, little things that really help out. And so this is I have a real good friend. She's been on this show a couple of times, and she had the first all-female roofing company in Alberta, Canada. And she has relocated to Houston and is trying to start kind of multiple locations up in sort of the southern United States. And unfortunately, she made this move at COVID 30. So she's had a bit of a struggle getting started. But she saw Texas as just the perfect place to move, move her business. And she wanted out of Canada.
Well, we don't penalize you for being successful and working hard.
We don't. We don't. We actually we're very capitalistic
interpret
around
that as
here.
you will, but that's
no.
fact, Jack.
No. I feel very blessed to be in Texas and to be.
Amen.
I always have, and it gets in your blood, and nothing else ever feels like home.
No.
You can go.
It's another day in paradise. We're blessed. I always tell my friends, the whole world is in a rush to move here, and we woke up here today. So we're already winning.
Yeah. And I'm blessed to have you as a friend and as a guest on my show. I really appreciate it. You're just an amazing lady, and you've had you have an incredible story that we've talked about before. And I appreciate you so much. You're a survivor. You're a mom. You're amazing. You're an amazing lady.
Well, thank you.
And so we always appreciate you coming and spending time with us. Appreciate your advice, and your insight is amazing. You're just a great lady, and I really appreciate you so much. And so that's our show today. And listen, you need to check us out Check out our YouTube. I've been doing some updates on my videos, and I'm trying to become more YouTubeistic, whatever that is. So, Remodel Revolution on YouTube. Check that out. Check out our Facebook, of course. Like us. We really appreciate it. Please subscribe to our YouTube as well. We're spending a lot of time trying to make it better. And, of course, our podcast, Remodel Revolution. You can get it on literally any podcast site. We're everywhere. And then don't forget that if you'll go on Texas Weather Tracker TV, put that on your phone. That is a local weather channel, and they rebroadcast our show on Roku, Apple, and something else TV. I always forget the third one. on Sundays at 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock. And so you can see us all over again. And it's worth, I'd watch both of them, actually. I just keep watching. And also, you can find us on LinkedIn. We post all of these shows back on LinkedIn. And so we're trying to stay in touch with you. And please send me an email or send me a note on Facebook and let me know anything that you want to see or any suggestions you have and how much you're liking the show. We'd really love to start hearing more from
The views and opinions of this program are for educational and entertainment purposes only and are not intended to replace the recommendations of a hired professional.